I was supposed to do this event with Charlie. And I saw a video of a liberal student that goes to school here. She was on campus. She was being interviewed about what she thought of the event right before I came up. And she said that she was actually really mad that we were all showing up. She said that TPUSA's presence was putting lives in danger, that we were putting lives at risk. Sweetheart, I think you're confused. The bullets only ever go one way. You're safer with us than we are with you. My name is Alex Clark, and I'm the host of Culture Apothecary. That is Turning Point USA's top charting health and wellness podcast. And I think that you should know that this is the biggest crowd Turning Point USA has ever pulled on a tour. There's over 6,500 people here today. We are witnessing the most powerful conservative youth movement in the history of America. I love you too. We're a family, aren't we? Speaking of family, there is a very special guest that I want to acknowledge tonight. Caleb, who is the Utah Valley University TPUSA chapter president, is here. He was there 2 weeks ago, hosted Charlie. He's actually the only kid at that tour stop to get a solo photo with Charlie Kirk before he was killed. Caleb, would you please come up on stage? Charlie would be so proud of you for being here. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you. Absolutely incredible that he showed up tonight. Charlie would be very proud of him and proud of all of you for still coming. I was hired by Charlie in 2019, but it wasn't until I gave a speech in 2023 at our Young Women's Conference where I was railing on hormonal birth control, talking about how predatory the fertility industry was and the dangers that daycare can have on childhood attachment, that Charlie said, I had no idea that Alex Clark was so based. She's insane. I love it. That was the best compliment that Charlie Kirk ever gave me. So I have a question for you, Utah. Are you insane enough for Charlie Kirk? Are you based enough? If you were expecting a funeral, if you came to mourn the death of America, the death of masculinity and femininity, of faith, of truth, then you are at the wrong event. It is not over. It is not even close. I'm not here to eulogize Charlie Kirk. I am here to pass the torch on to every single one of you. Tonight, each of us certainly feels the weight of this loss. But what we don't do, what we refuse to do, is bow to despair. Charlie Kirk did not spend his too short 31 years on this earth building a global movement so that it could all fall apart and we could cry over its ashes. He was building something that would outlast him. And no one knows that better than his wife and our new CEO, Erica Kirk. I've seen many online this week speculating, how is Erica able to keep going? How is she able to smile amidst hosting the Charlie Kirk show? Let me tell you why. It is because Erica Kirk has a supernatural peace and strength that God gives to his children that surpasses all peace, all understanding. That is why. When Charlie was only a teenager, a guy with no title, no degree, no connections, no blue check mark on Twitter, Charlie started Turning Point USA. And he didn't ask for permission. He didn't wait for legacy media to give him a platform. He did it himself. While the conservative establishment was writing op-eds speculating why Gen Z is disengaged or why young people will always be liberal, Charlie Kirk was busy going out to college campuses, setting up tables and asking the left to prove him wrong. And guess what? They couldn't then, and they still couldn't now. Eventually, young people started to take notice. And at first, Charlie was an interesting curiosity. Next, he was a celebrity. And then they saw him as a hero. And now, finally, he will live on as a martyr. Evil thought that it could silence him, but evil forgot something. Martyrs don't disappear, they multiply. Charlie was always thinking ahead and practically about how to grow the conservative movement. He knew the right couldn't just speak to young men, we had to reach young women too. If conservatives couldn't speak to the millions of girls who care about pop culture and fashion and relationships and health and wellness, then it was going to hit a dead end. Charlie and I agreed on this, and he was the only one who understood my urgency without hesitation. Most importantly, he listened. He asked what I thought about what was resonating with undecided female voters and young women. The left claims that Charlie Kirk was a misogynist, that he hated women. The reality is Charlie Kirk loved women enough to tell them the truth. Throughout the last several years, when I pitched my ideas, Charlie replied by saying, let's go flip culture upside down. He let me create my first show, Poplitics, covering pop culture from a conservative perspective, which eventually evolved last year into the wellness podcast I now host called Culture Apothecary. Charlie wanted to fight the culture war and win. And on Culture Apothecary, I talk about healing a sick culture in order to win the culture war. We are sicker than we've ever been, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So I interview the experts about relationships and parenting. We even talk about theology. We talk about corruption in our food system and the pharmaceutical industry, which is keeping Americans sick. And we do it all through the lens of truth. Charlie knew that if we wanted to win the culture war, we have to start at home with the women, the real change makers, the culture shifters, the ones who hold the key to revitalizing the American family and therefore our nation. It's women. I told Charlie that MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, was the way to reach the young moms. I told him women may not all exactly agree on your gun stance or immigration, but they did agree on one thing, and that is that America was sick, that our children are on a downward health spiral that cannot be ignored. Charlie trusted me, and he said, then let's seize the common ground. Let's make TPUSA MAHA. That choice may very well have altered American history because it was Charlie Kirk who called and urged Bobby Kennedy to join forces with President Trump. American children today have a chance at living a long, happy, healthy life because of Charlie Kirk. And now it's on all of us to heal a sick culture, not just Charlie, not just me. The fix is not going to come by seeking useless compromises with the people who have poisoned us. It won't come through comfort and sitting idly by, tweeting from the sidelines. It will come through courage. You are never going to heal a sick culture by blending in with it. You will only heal a sick culture by standing out apart from it. And I don't know what each of your stories are, but I do know this. Each of you came here tonight for a reason. Your calling might be loud, like Charlie's or like mine. It also could be as quiet as a whisper. Your call might bring you to a stage like this one, or it could keep you in your living room. But your call is real, and I suspect that you know as much. And that maybe you've been avoiding it just a little. Charlie Kirk refused to waste a single moment. Every second of his life was deliberately spent with his family, in devotion to the Lord, advancing the mission of TPUSA, or fighting to preserve the soul of America. It was as if he sensed time pressing in and on him, some inner clock reminding him how fleeting life was. And so he lived urgently, purposefully, driven to make every minute count. Do you feel your clock ticking? It is for each of us. And the good news is that you and I have the same time in a day that Charlie Kirk had. And I want you to remind me of that when I can't find something to wear. So now let me ask you, will you waste yours? Will you rise up? Ever since Charlie was taken from us, this nagging thought has been there. I could do more. I should do more. I've wasted too much time. And I'm willing to bet that those same thoughts have entered your minds as well. All of us could have done more in the past. We have an opportunity now to do more in the future. The lesson of Charlie's life is that one person fully surrendered to God and fully fearless in the face of the wider culture can change the course of history. We have to stop standing in our own way. Are you insane enough? Are you based enough? Be honest about what it is that's stopping you. If you are addicted to ultra-processed food that is slowly killing your body and mind and keeping you from having the force of energy that you need to take back this country, now is the time to quit. If you're too busy scrolling on your phone to lead your family, it's time to put the phone down. If you have been stagnating in a long-term relationship without a proposal, I'm a girl's girl. It's time to nail it down or break it off. If your idea of pursuing a woman is with a snap streak, in the words of Demi Lovato, get a job, stay away from her. No more coasting like life will last forever, because as we learned a couple weeks ago, it won't. Maybe it's time to have kids instead of waiting for the perfect time. Guess what? There's never a perfect time. You will never have the perfect house for kids. You will never make enough money. As Charlie liked to say, have more kids than you can afford. Perhaps it's time to pull your kids out of public school and teach them yourself. Time to stop believing Satan's lies that you are unqualified, because there's no one more qualified to teach your child than you. Ooh, I hope you feel it, because we are about to raise the most Christian, conservative generation America has ever seen. And it will be in honor of Charlie. If you stopped going to church a few years ago because life got too busy, then the time to head back is now, not later. If you've never stepped foot in a true Bible-believing church, I can help you find one. If you're already going to church, ask yourself, when was the last time you shared the gospel with a non-believer? Do you know how? Break the chains, put down the phone, step up, lead your family, heal your body, take back your home, reclaim your future. Ooh, I'm not done. Let's get convicted up in here. You're here, you've got the TPUSA shirt on, you've got the lanyard on. You've posted about being here tonight on Instagram, but have you taken the next step? Have you started a chapter? Have you joined one that already exists? Have you prepared to door knock with Turning Point Action ahead of the midterms? Are you plugged in with a Turning Point Education homeschool co-op near you? Imagine a nation where children grow up fearless and faithful, where fathers lead with courage and not passivity, where mothers prioritize the home, where truth is spoken without apology. That is the America that Charlie Kirk envisioned, and that is the America that Erica Kirk will spend the rest of her life carrying on. And not because Erica ever planned to, not because she wanted to, but because she has been called. You are being called. Are you listening and paying attention to what it is you are being called to do? Are you ready at a moment's notice to say, yes, God, here I am, when he says go? That baby's dancing in the crowd. That baby liked what I had to say, yeah. If you have been afraid of being judged by your sorority, of being judged by other parents in dance class, by being judged by your coworkers, even your own family, if you are more afraid about being liked than standing with the truth, repent. That fear is not from God, it is from the enemy. It is a sin. God does not call those who are qualified, he qualifies those whom he calls. Charlie lived such a full life because he lived it free from fear. He placed his total trust in God to fill in the rest. That courage let him do and say the things that others wouldn't. He talked fearlessly about abortion. He talked about saving yourself for marriage. He talked about Islam coming for the West. He talked about drag queens in preschools. he simultaneously loved Israel and believed that we should be free to criticize their government. No more, no less. Charlie was continuously mocked and ridiculed. He was misquoted and shamed. He was lied about. And finally, in the end, he was murdered in this very state. There will never be another person like Charlie Kirk. God doesn't send carbon copies of his faithful servants. But you don't have to be Charlie. You don't have to have a podcast or be on a stage like this one. You just have to be ready to obey God. Repent from the sin that is controlling your life. Join that church group. Delete that toxic app. Propose to that girl. Have that baby. Be a mother. Be a father. Live with holiness and lead with conviction. We fear God, not the left. You are called, you are needed, you are chosen. Charlie Kirk lit a fire, and now it's in your hands. Charlie wanted me and all of us to be absolutely tenacious and insane in the best way, to be unbelievably based. If you're not making the mob angry, you're not standing for anything important. Utah, are you ready to heal a sick culture? Thank you so much, Utah.